So, as the certified crew, let's not make things worse. Let's look at some video tips so that we don't end up worsening the outcomes of pediatric traumatic cataracts. Every trauma case may look different, but all have similar micro situations. Let's dissect these general surgical steps and look at a few scenarios. Let's unveil the cataract by beginning with posterior synechia. Weak synechia can be gently released with a spatula. In case of synechia with bridging membranes, don't tug, don't pull, just cut them, and then the iris hooks will reveal the underlying truth. Strong peripheral synechias may hamper IOL placement, so cut it gently to avoid stress on the iris. In case of strong synechias, sometimes fibrovascular plaques can be present. Check the extent of adhesions with a spatula. These are better dealt with the scissors. Avoid primary IOL implantation to prevent inflammation. Use vitrectomy cutter for the fibrovascular plaques. Anterior capsular management should be calm and controlled. Ruptured anterior capsule can be a common scenario. We give a small nick and with the help of forceps, round off the torn edge of the anterior capsule. Well, to ensure control over the capsular axis, always grasp and regrasp the capsule at the junction of cut edge. Don't pull the membranous edge, just cut it. A microrhexis forceps is a good tool to ensure chamber stability. Remember to keep the pull towards the center. Be careful, sometimes a cut beyond the plaque can lead to unexpected extension of the anterior capsule. To avoid such unfavorable scenarios, implant the IOL in the bag first and then enlarge the anterior capsule between planned cuts. Be slow and steady for lens aspiration. Always practice to take the peripheral cortex first and then the central cortex so that in case of surprise PC tears, we are well versed in dealing with cortex. The residual central cortex comes with ease. To avoid repeated changing of hands, deal with half cortex at a time, including capsular polishing of the same side at low vacuum before switching the hands. Always use viscoelastics before bringing out the irrigation cannula to avoid chamber collapse. Tilt the globe to see for cortex under the scarred area. Plaques are common. Peel them or cut them. While dealing with plaques, first identify a plane of separation, then release it from the periphery. Cut any adhesions on the way. Check for any vitreous attachments before pulling it out. When the plaque cannot be peeled, cut it open with scissors. Prefer 3-piece IOL in all trauma cases. Loading the 3-piece IOL is tricky. The leading haptic goes inside the cartridge. Leave the trailing haptic outside, even in the cartridge and in the injector. Enter the eye with bevel down of the cartridge. Turn the cartridge to the left side till you see the haptic coming out. Then turn it down. Slowly then turn it to the right side. Leave the trailing haptic outside for unforeseen circumstances. Posterior rex is done in all trauma cases. We prefer to do a retro IOL posterior rexis and vitrectomy in order to safeguard in the bag implantation of IOL. We prefer to do limited anterior vitrectomy to avoid the chance of future retinal detachments. In case one has to do vitrectomy before putting the IOL, look for fluttering of the PC to know the completion of vitrectomy. Once the flutter stops, vitrectomy is complete as seen here. Suturing is mandatory for all pediatric cases. Check for any leak carefully, as even a small ooze can lead to infections. Let's look at two commonly encountered special situations. In this case of membranous cataract, we released the synechia first, cleaned the pigments, and then dealt with the anterior capsule. We opened the anterior capsule to deal with the membranous cortex in the periphery. Assess the extent of plaque adhesions. Mass of the membranous cortex is teased out with hydrodissections. Cortex is aspirated completely to expose the underlying posterior capsular plaque. A plane of separation was identified and the plaque was peeled off like rhexis. Diagrams here represent the stages of creation of support for the IOL. We demonstrate another interesting case of pre-existing PC defect where we use the technique of vitrectomy alternating with cortex removal. The irrigation cannula should always be directed away from the vitreous cavity. A liberal vitrectomy is done whenever the cortical aspiration is hindered. To clear the visual axis, the plaque is enlarged with the cutter, and the IOL was implanted in sulcus. Our study done on pediatric traumatic cataract shows promising results. So the crux of it is, keep all your weapons ready before planning a pediatric traumatic cataract. Thank you. Hope it helps in preserving eyesight in children.